Hey folks, Sinitar here, with a video I wanted to make long ago due to numerous requests. Most of us are playing Skyrim with mods on certain level anyway, but the thing is not everyone are experienced in modding at this exact moment, or just don't have time to go through tutorials or make the setups themselves. Or maybe just have certain conditions, for example, you are in travels or vacation, or just want to play for fun, but still, it is 2019 and you want maximum improvements with minimum amount of mods installed. That's it, less than in an hour, you will be able to vastly transform your game in both graphics and gameplay sides, greatly improve textures and models, lighting, new shaders, but also hundreds of new spells and items, brand new enemies, gameplay mechanics, animations, roleplay additions, together with many dozens and even hundreds of hours of content. All mods you need for such a goal in this video to make maximum modded coverage with minimum efforts. A few optional patches or add-ons that you may need are also included in video descriptions and explained. Let's go! Use the Mod Organizer, Mod Organizer 2 or Nexus Mod Manager, that's up to your preference, to install them. Number 1. Static Mesh Improvement Mod, or just SMIM. This mod is a pillar for improving thousands of game meshes, models in other words, so they can be less ugly and much more volumetric. Get the full version with Dragonborn for Skyrim Legendary Edition. Number 2. Parallax Skyrim by Fusher. Fusher is a person who has possibly the biggest contribution into Skyrim retexturing, while maintaining amazing quality of textures. Most of his textures are just a pure artwork. Well, look yourself. The Dark Forest of Skyrim. One tree overhaul to rule them all. This mod carefully places a lot of trees with new models that are greatly fitting in each Skyrim hold, making the overall landscape look much more ambient and deep looking. File version choice. If the name Dindalot doesn't tell you anything, then get the Dark Forest of Skyrim file. But if you are planning to use Dindalot, get the Dark Forest of Skyrim core files and billboards file. Unbelievable Grass 2 Redux, a great compilation of grass models and textures together with great balance between density and performance, resulting in my personal grass mod's favorite. Realistic Water 2 doesn't even need a presentation, the best water mod ever that makes water look like water and not plastic jelly. Enhanced Lights and FX, an all-in-one mod to greatly improve your lighting all over the game. Pick only the core file option in first installer window. If you do not want more realistic darkened interiors, if you do want them, also get the Enhancer model. Also tick SMIM options and do not take weathers or exteriors plugin, they are not needed. The Dawn of Skyrim plus the Great Cities, Minor Cities and Towns are two beautiful settlement overhauls, with first one affecting cities and the second one, despite a somewhat confusing mod name, smaller towns and cities, resulting in much more authentic look these settlements deserve. Rudy EMB is the most well-balanced EMB preset that will fit almost any taste. Doesn't matter if you want natural, cinematic or photorealistic look, Rudy has a golden middle balance in everything, stunning visuals and amazing performance. I personally recommend version for vanilla weathers from .366 archive file. Bingo! Graphics part done, now the gameplay. Number 9 and 10, Immersive Armors and Lore Weapons Expansion, are two really big mods that add hundreds of items in total with a great variety but still a lore-friendly look, and also distributing new armors and weapons to chests, traders and enemies. Apocalypse, Magic of Skyrim, a supreme spell pack that adds over hundreds of new spells. But the main feature of Apocalypse is most of spells are not just some, cheap quality recolor of vanilla spells, but brand new magic effects which will greatly expand your arsenal, making you look on mage gameplay from absolutely another angle with hungry eyes. Also get the Ordinator patch from Files section. Ordinator is the most up-to-date, versatile and roleplay-wise perk overhaul ever made for Skyrim, with around 400 new and improved vanilla perks to give you access to dozens of new character builds, which were simply impossible in vanilla game. Moreover, using this mod, you can use all my unique modded character builds, which are made in form of comfy videos for your joy, linked in video description. Sacrosanct is an all-in-one vampire overhaul that turns boring vampire gameplay in Skyrim into a real journey of a night creature, adding dozens of new perks and mechanics, abilities, spells for both human and vampire lord forms, vampire ranks progression system and even vampire questline to gain new powers. Summer Mist is an enchantments mod that no more or less triples the amount of enchantments for items in-game, but doing this not by just adding another numeric bonuses for damage or defenses, but rather an in-depth, interesting effects that are on different level compared to vanilla ones. Mods number 15 and 16, Imperius plus Andromeda, two mods from the same author that are changing and adding brand new powers and passives to Skyrim races and Standing Stones. No more boring flat abilities, most of which are plainly useless in a middle or late game. Now, racials and Standing Stone powers are not only expanded, but also highly effective on any stage of the game and for roleplaying. Interesting NPCs is the biggest NPC add-on for Skyrim. It repopulates Skyrim with over 250 unique NPCs, with many thousands of dialogue lines to chit-chat on backstories, temper and even quest lines, and often hireable as followers as well. Get the main file and also don't got meshes for vampire NPCs file. You do not need the Hellfire patch, it is obsolete. Also optionally, I have linked NPC visual overhaul in video description if you want to make NPCs from this mod, let's say, more pretty. Ultimate Combat is my personal favorite between all combat mods. It makes combat less stupid, more aggressive and tactical, as well as adding new special moves to enemies and few other realism changes like stamina cost for weapon swings and so on, with everything adjustable and configurable in cozy mod configuration menu. Skyrim Immersive Creatures is simply the biggest creature overhaul ever made. It adds dozens of new creature types, while most of them are purely lore-friendly creatures or just creatures that were cut from the game, resulting into thousands of new possible encounters with enemies of different strengths and even new world bosses. Obis, organized bandits in Skyrim. Bandits are the most common enemy type in whole game, yet the most underdeveloped and boring at the same time. Obis adds several dozens of new bandit types into the game, new bandit gangs, named bandit bosses, gives bandits ability to drink potions in combat, same as you, and much more. Meanwhile, all new bandits are placed logically and appears only at certain level of your character or depending on certain game stage, without irrational spawns. Skytest, realistic animals and predators. While previous two mods are adding new enemies, Skytest mostly focuses on incredibly silly vanilla creatures AI, making predators act like predators, careful herbivorous animals be actually careful, and so on. Predators like wolf, for example, will receive pack instincts, but also will be afraid of fire, same as in real life. Huge creatures like mammoths or saber cats can easily overpower you and ragdoll you out, and you can even spot cubs near adult animals during certain months. Immersive Sounds Compendium is a sound overhaul that changes and improves nearly to all in-game sounds, making them much more deep and fitting fantasy RPG that Skyrim is, touching the smallest details like different footstep sounds on different terrain type. Well, listen yourself. Inigo is a follower mod that will greatly change your game, even if you never played with followers before. Inigo is not just carry your burdens machine for keeping all those stolen cabbages, but a real person with a charismatic, witty and sarcastic character, with many thousands of dialogue lines. He will command everything happening about you and around you, be it combat or certain stage of main quest, and even talk to your other followers and sometimes even trolling them. Remember how religion and worshipping were implemented in Skyrim? Yeah, me neither. All for what deities' shrines were used is to receive disease cure and weak buff useful only at low levels. Not anymore. Wintersun adds a fully fledged worshipping system with over 4 dozens deities to worship, each one with own tenets, bonuses and special rights. With Wintersun, choosing a deity is not only a choice for bonuses and powers, but also an amazing roleplay gift to polish your character deeply. Animated Armory is a weapon and animation mod at the same time. It adds pikes, rapiers, halberds and even claws to Skyrim. You can craft them, buy or find, and they appear on enemies too. But most important, with brand new fully working animations. This mod is a true gem and simply gives a fresh air to Skyrim's rusty combat animation system, making combat like twice more fun. Legacy of the Dragonborn. Most of players who heard about this mod are confusing this incredible masterpiece with just an adventure museum where you store artifacts, while in reality it is just a peak of an iceberg, and the mod in total is adding several hundreds of brand new artifacts that you can acquire through the game depths. But not just like pick up in another chest, yet giving backstories and pre-quest lines to track them, but that's not everything. With Legacy, you can become a master of own explorer society and embrace a long and thrilling questline, bigger than in most of Skyrim popular quest mods. Vigilant is a quest and new land mod that's adding a huge, non-linear storyline that's wrapping around the most underdeveloped Skyrim faction, Vigilants of Standar, as well as adding many new realms to explore, dozens of new enemies, epic boss fights with huge Dark Souls-like bosses, and branching storyline greatly binded to Elder Scrolls lore, will definitely become one of the greatest journey you ever took in Skyrim. Relationship Dialogue Overhaul is sort of inconspicuous mod that's adding a great immersion bonus without you even noticing that. It is expanding vanilla dialogues and what hundreds of NPCs can say in general by several thousands of new lines, making Skyrim NPCs to sound much more alive and aware. Number 30 and the last mod in this list. Skyrim Underground is a tasty cherry on the top of our today's cake. That's a unique dungeon mod. Instead of just adding generic new dungeons and caves with once again generic enemies and loot, Skyrim Underground adds over 60 new underground cells of different size and type, with both already known and brand new enemies, new quests and bizarre events, but what's most important, with all those 60 plus dungeons are being connected to each other in a single, huge, complex underground network which you can explore for dozens or heck, if not hundreds of hours. That's it for now, folks. I hope this video will be really useful to many of you. And if you have enjoyed it, drop a comment with your own thoughts about this list and your own favorite mods. Don't forget to enable channel notifications and join our Discord to always stay in touch. Sinitar Gaming here, signing out.